This is the Storm Warning Show. Turn the radio up. Let's go. You're listening to the Storm Warning Show at BKS1Radio.com. You're listening to the Storm Warning Show at BKS1Radio.com. Turn the radio up. BKS1. BKS1. BKS1Radio.com. Turn the radio up. BKS1. BKS1. BKS1Radio.com. Turn the radio up. You're listening to the Storm Warning Show at BKS1Radio.com. You're listening to the Storm Warning Show at BKS1Radio.com. Turn the radio up. BKS1. BKS1. BKS1Radio.com. Turn the radio up. BKS1. BKS1. BKS1Radio.com. Turn the radio up.
Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon, and you're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Hey, I'm the queen of comedy some more, and right now you're rocking with BKS1 Radio, and this is the Storm Warning Show. Go.
Hey, what's up? I'm Chauncey Black. I'm Eve Williams. I'm Mark Middleton. I'm Levi Lou. And we are Blackstreet. And you're watching the Storm Warning Show. No diggity, no doubt. Storm.
What's good? What's good? Peace and blessings to everybody on the check. Another Thursday night.
Hello, yes.
The official Storm Warning Show is going down.
Yes.
I'm excited for a lot of reasons tonight, but I'm not even going to get into it right now. First and foremost,
Yes.
shout out to everybody on the check-in, but let me introduce my partner, my co-host, my favorite daggone Puerto Rican, 1/3 of the R&B group Allure, Hurricane Kiss. Let's get it. Hey.
Lord, I thought we escaped the weekend
Nah,
already.
we going to the right. We going to the right. We going to the right. Who? Hey. Hey.
We still got the parade vibes going.
Hey. All right. Yes.
Good evening. How are you guys?
In the building.
And as usual, I have to introduce this man to the left. The Storm Warning Show and BKS would not be what it is had it not been for this man right here. We call him DJ Storm, known the general. I affectionately call him El Chocolatito, El General, El Jefe.
All right.
But very, very happy to be super excited about this one today.
Now listen.
Yes.
We got two amazing guests.
Absolutely.
Right? In the building. In the building. And I'm excited for two reasons. Because one, we got a legend.
Absolutely.
Right? And then the other one.
Legend.
She changed
As
the
far
whole.
as far as our
She
era is
changed. No, she
concerned.
changed the whole
changed
dating game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She changed the whole dating game.
Absolutely.
All of that. Singer extraordinaire, entrepreneur, extraordinary actress.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But let's listen. I'm not going to tell y'all who it is, but y'all been seeing the promo all week. But anyway,
Right.
I'm not going to tell y'all who it is. All right, but first, do we have Shirley Jones in the building? Shirley, are you there?
Yeah. Yes, I am. I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can't see you, though.
We can't see you, though.
Let's see. What am I supposed to do here? Let's see.
We
Just-
gonna
you can
help
tap
you
on
out.
your
Okay, I
camera.
got to start the video.
Oh,
Hi, you.
Can you see me now?
Yes,
Yes,
we
yes.
can. Hi,
Yes,
Auntie. How
hi.
are you?
let's
I am
officially.
fine.
Yes.
I am fine.
let's-
I am
You look
fine.
beautiful.
You look beautiful as always. Listen,
Oh, thank you.
let's officially welcome to the Storm Warning Show.
Yes.
Well,
Member-
thank you. Thank
member.
you so much.
Oh my
Hold
gosh.
on, member of the legendary group, the Jones
The
Girls.
Jones Girls, yes.
The voice herself, Shirley Jones.
Shirley
Let's clap it
Jones,
up.
Yes.
Hey, hey. Hello, everybody.
How are you?
Listen. First and foremost, I'm glad you are on with us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot to talk about. I know you are coming to my city soon.
Yes.
Yes.
July 4th.
July 4th.
Absolutely.
Yes, July 4th. But I gotta ask you this question. All right. Who can I run to when I want a legend on the Storm Warning Show? That would be you, Miss Jones.
No, over here,
You-
riddles.
Go ahead.
You want to know about, well, Who Can I Run To was written by Charlie Boy, Frank Austin, and Richard Roebuck, two of whom are deceased. But it was written for us, and it was produced by Joe Jefferson. And it was on the very first Jones Girls album, our debut album, The Jones Girls. And it was on the B-side of You Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else. Actually, we did not want it to be, because everybody felt that it could be a single on its own.
Right.
But, Gamble, back in the day, Gamble had the last say-so. And they had A and B sides back then. So it was the B side. So it's still sold, a couple million records being on the B side.
And I'm glad we talking about Who Can I Run To first, because when I mentioned the title of that song, people think of Escape.
Escape, yeah.
And I try
Yes.
to tell them, no, they're not the original.
Right.
They are
Right.
covering a classic.
But I think that's just the way of the world now. There's so many, like, especially this generation, they listen to music, they hear songs, and they hear the beat, and they're like, oh, that's dope, and they think that it's that, but they forget that it's actual samples of when we had it good, when music was actually
Right.
good.
Yeah.
No offense, but, it is what it is. And with that being said, okay, so I know people probably ask you this question all the time. For me and my girls, and when I was in my house doing chores and stuff, you guys were all that my mama listened to. If it wasn't you, if it was Angela Bofield, it was Barbara Streisand, we
Right.
had some Latin going on. But for you growing up, who inspired you to want to be a singer?
The Supremes, absolutely,
Yeah.
the Supremes. Motown, because
Yes.
we were born and raised in Detroit. So all Motown artists, and especially the Supremes. And when we had the opportunity to work with Diana Ross, that was like a dream come true for us. And, because of the fact that we just idolized the Supremes. And it is so funny now, because so many female girl groups and females tell me, girl, your music, we washed so many windows and cleaned house to your music, because that's what our mothers played. Especially, some of our songs like You Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else. They're like, that's all, they made us clean, and they would play that to our dads, and to my dad when he was messing up. It's an honor. And when people sample and cover our music, it's an honor, because they don't sample and cover just anything. And our music, from Nights Over Egypt, Who Can I Run To, You Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else, it's been sampled and covered so many times. But the only thing that's a little disappointing is that it takes away the creativity for music now. When you have to cover or sample something from back in the day, create your own melodies, create your own tracks, in order to move music forward.
One thing I got to ask, when you first got your record deal, right, how old was the group then?
Let's see. Diana Ross is responsible for us getting with Gamble and Huff. So let's see. I'm the oldest. So I had to be maybe 22, 23. And we're stair steps. So that means Brenda was, if I was 22 or 23, she was 22 or 21, and Valerie was 20.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So, okay. So this album right here, At Peace with a Woman. So this is going to be the new opening for your show?
The title track, At Peace with Woman.
Wow.
For the next live show. Yes.
Nice. In this album right here.
Yes, that's the album with Nights Over Egypt. That's the third album with Gamble and Huff. Get As Much Love As You Can. And my dear friend Luther Vandross, that was one of his favorite songs by us. Get As Much Love As You Can. He used to always tell me, girl, that song right there is so underrated, but that was the title track of that album.
Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Now that album, we were not with Philly International when that one was released. We had actually moved on to RCA, and Kenny actually released that in competition with the album that RCA put out, which was called On Target. And this album did better than the On Target album with RCA.
And coming back.
That's when my sisters and I, reunited to do that particular album in the UK. And it's a terrific album. I just got my master rights to that album, so you will probably be to that one and a solo album that I did over there. So I'm getting ready to probably put out some of those songs from both of those albums now that I own my masters. Hey.
Now, what a lot of people don't know, and shout out to all the younger listeners that's listening to the show, what a lot of people don't know is you guys started out as background singers for a lot of legends.
Yes.
For a lot of legends. Can you name some of them?
Oh, my goodness. Aretha Franklin, Teddy Pendergrass, Lou Rawls, Cher, Helen Reddy.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Norman Connors. Of course, Diana Ross. Dionne Warwick. Back in the day, we were the premier background singers in California once Holland, Dozier Holland, and Motown moved to California. There were two groups, both family groups. They either wanted the Waters or they wanted the Jones Girls.
Wow.
And that's why Diana put in our contract, because the 3 years we worked with her, we worked all around the world, 7 months out the year. And she did put in our contract that those 4 or 5 months when she wasn't working, she knew that our livelihood was singing background. She allowed us to sing back, to continue doing our background for different artists.
Right. So as extensive as a list that you have as far as people that you've worked with, is there anybody that you didn't get a chance to work with, whether still present or not, that you would still want to work with today?
I can't, because we did background for just about everybody. I can't really think of anybody.
Wow, that's awesome.
But, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was Diana Ross that said, no, we got to move y'all from the back to the front.
It was Diana. In fact, she gave us our own 10-minute spot in her show. She said to us after our very first tour with her, which was to Europe, and we came back, she was getting ready to do her residency at Caesar's Palace in Vegas. And she said, you guys, everybody's been talking about you. And I changed clothes 5-6 times in my show. So I want you guys to get a song. And, a song that showcases all of your individual talents as well as your harmonies. and I'm going to introduce you to the world. And when I do one of my changes, I'm going to call on you. And that's exactly what she did. And we happened to be in Philadelphia at the Schubert Theater when she said to me, she said, Gamble and Huff are going to be in the audience tonight. So you guys really need to show out. And we did. And as soon as the show was over, there was a knock on the door, and it was Gamble and Huff. And they said, are you guys signed to anybody? Would you like to be a part of PIR, Gamble and Huff? And we're like, absolutely, you know, because they were the hottest going. They had Teddy at the time, and the OJs, and Patti LaBelle, and Jean Carn, my bestie. And we were just so excited. And about 3 or 4 months later, after all the negotiations with lawyers was worked out, we were there. We were there. And to record all 4 of those albums with them.
Now, just looking back to when, you know, you got into the music industry to what you see what's going on today, you know, what do you feel is the big difference? What are some things you think is better now and some things that, you know, you just glad it's not happening no more?
The branding, man, if we had really been able to brand ourselves and expand into perfume, and that's one thing I admire about the younger singers. They're into this branding, not only for themselves, but they're going into perfume and clothing. And man, it would be a different situation totally if us legendary old school artists have been able to do that, you know, because that expands everything about your brand.
Right.
And the one thing that I like I said earlier, that I'm disappointed in is the creativity in the music, because everybody's sampling and covering music from my generation, you know, when the Jones Girls, which is a compliment, and don't get me wrong, I love that, but create your own. Like, I'm headed to the studio now. I just wrote 2 songs that I'm going to be recording that are going to be coming out, and the melodies and all that, it's just probably going to be songs that people are going to cover, and you know, but create your own, and stop that sampling and cover, because if you're a true musician, you want to create. There's plenty of melodies out there that you can come up with yourself instead of sampling or covering something from back in the day. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the stuff that I'm just waiting on them to cover one of the ones I wrote, so I can
and that's what I want to ask you.
Get those coins.
So let me ask you, how much creative freedom did you have back when you was with your sisters as far as writing? Did you have any creative freedom?
Oh, yeah. In fact, Gamble allowed me and McKinley Jackson, who was our manager and producer at the time, we have 2 songs on every Jones Girls album that we wrote. We were allowed, and they were he made sure that two of our songs that we wrote were on each one.
So you still getting writers' royalties today?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, I do.
Nice.
Yes.
You should.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so now do we got some girl groups today? No more girl groups?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Still coming out?
We still have, that's fine, that was going to be one of my next questions. But yeah, we have SWV, 702 still working.
I'm saying still coming. To me,
you mean like new ones?
Yeah, current.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of the same groups from the 90s, basically.
So,
you know,
let me go right there, being that we talking about, So, the R&B group Allure, they did a tribute to the Jones Girls, right?
Oh, yes, they did, and it brought me to tears a few years back.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
When we were with the Rhythm and R&B, the R&B conference, we were given the Unsung Heroine Award. And I mean, Allure, I just love those girls. I just love you, Hurricane Kids. You guys I mean, y'all brought me to tears. You really did, because people don't understand. I tell my audiences all the time, I'm still out here keeping that legacy alive. But they, I love seeing the smiles and the joy, but they don't understand that when I'm up there, it's really therapy for me, because I miss my sisters so much. And I often think about if they were here and they were alive, I know we would still be singing and still be kicking butt. So that's why I'm out there, because it's really therapy. And to hear them sing those songs, who can I run to? They did You're Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else,
Yeah,
Nights Over Egypt.
I just love
And the harmonies reminded me so much of me and Brenda that it brought me to tears, actually.
We were
it
crying
really
too.
did. Yeah.
we were nervous the whole time. I mean, we spent almost maybe 2.5 months just going over the song choices, the steps, the rehearsals, because we were just adamant. Like our thing was, this is who we grew up listening to. And even now, we can't really sit back and say that there's so much of what's happening now that we cater to like that, because we grew up on Motown. Like, that's what, that's all we heard blazing through the house. So and shout out to Vanessa Jordan for the of the R&B Music Society for inviting us every single year. We've done tributes for First Choice, Sister Sledge, Evelyn Champagne King. And when I tell you that Evelyn puts us to shame with them knees, the way she be bouncing up and down, it's insane. But just to be able to be on the same stage with legends such as yourself and everybody else that we've done tribute for, it was nerve-wracking. But just to see that you enjoyed it was enough for us.
Oh man, I really enjoyed it.
And we thank you just for the inspiration.
Spiritually, Brenda and Valerie enjoyed it too, because I feel their presence on every performance I have done since I decided to keep this legacy alive. The spirit of my sisters are right up there on stage with me.
Well,
thank you so much.
You went right into a segue. I just want to show a quick clip with you and your sisters real quick, doing what y'all do. Here's the clip, y'all.
Okay.
Now look, Shirley. Now what do you want, Brenda? I don't know who you're trying to fool. And even Mama said we should talk to you about this. Oh, yeah? Yeah, that's right. But I just couldn't hold this back any longer. See, I'm glad you and Mom and Valerie, I'm glad you're all concerned. But this is something you will never understand. I just love the night, and I don't care what you say. All that stuff you talk about him providing for you, that don't mean nothing. I mean, where was he at when your rent was back 3 months? And we had to all put a little bit of money together to keep a roof over not only your head, but his head too. You see, I'm not trying to get in your business.
Just had to run a clip so they wouldn't cut me off. So I had to chop it up like that. But when you see things like that, what goes through your mind?
All of the choreography and the work that we did with Charlie Atkins. He was the producer of our shows. He also did the Temptations, the OJs, the Supremes, just about everybody back in the day, Charlie Atkins. And a lot of work went into that, especially for that song, because that song was really completed without the talking part. And Gamble, and he just happened to be in the booth, and he said, it's missing something. I just love the man. I love the song, but it's missing something. And we didn't know the mics were on, and Brenda and Valerie were telling me, well, I was going through a situation with a guy, and they were saying, you need to leave him. You stop complaining and get rid of him because he's just dragging you down. And then Gamble said, we didn't know he was listening in on our conversation. And he said, that's what we need. We need that right there. And we're like, what? And he said, that. You need it. Wow. And he said, take a break. And we took a break, and he came back, and he said, we want that. And so we kind of all wrote the little talking parts, but it came from him listening to our conversation about my sisters telling me to get rid of the guy I was with.
So
that's real life.
So you put your business out there on record.
Exactly.
Right.
You put yourself on blast.
That is funny.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. But that's what it's about, right? I mean, even now.
Right.
I think people usually write about stuff that you can relate to that you've been through. So I think to me those are the best songs. Those are the best.
That
songs.
was the true story.
But you know what? When I sit here and talk to you now, like I feel your spirit.
Yeah.
Like you got so much life into you. Like you really enjoy what you do. And a lot of artists that's been around for years, they lose that after a while.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a lot of artists that were at the top of their game and they just lose their passion for it. It seems like you still have that passion and that drive.
Oh, I do. Hey, I got to, because, you know, with my sisters both passing away, we were cut short. We weren't able to, you know, to sing. So I'm out here keeping that legacy, keeping people, reminding people of those beautiful songs that we did with Gamble and Huff, like Nights Over Egypt, a classic. Who Can I Run To? You're Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else. I just love the man. Dance Turn to Romance. And when people hear them and when I'm performing, they always say, "Oh my God, I forgot that you guys did that song," or you know, but they remember. They go back to fond memories of their mama making them clean the house, or them hanging out at the skating rink, and that brings me joy. And that's why I'm going to continue to keep that legacy going as long as I can.
Please do.
Yes.
You don't know how excited I am that you're coming to the city of Plainfield on July 4th.
Oh yeah, we coming. My girls and I, we're gonna be there. We're ready to rock and celebrate the 4th of July.
Yes. And look, just so you know, Miss Shirley Jones didn't miss a beat. I gotta show this clip because you just got back from Germany, right?
Yes, I did.
How was that?
Oh my God. That was an experience. I had not been to Germany since the three of us were together. You're talking like 40, 45 years. And the love from the German people was just as strong as ever. It was just like, you know, the years hadn't passed. It was 5,000 strong.
Wow.
And they were like, we killed it. So it was great.
Let me show this clip and then you could talk about it.
While we dance, while we dance. Oh yes. A dance turned into romance. The very first time we danced across the floor. A dance turned into romance. A dance turned into romance.
Let's clap it up. That's the legend herself.
Yes. So I have to ask you a question.
A full orchestra, strings and horns, and a killer band. I was hesitant because I usually like to take at least my MD and a cup, and I was very hesitant. But they said, "Trust me, they know your music over here." Man, that orchestra was off the chain.
They sound amazing.
It was awesome, an awesome experience.
So, Okay. So I have another amazing artist in the building, and she's also a fan. She said before the show she's a fan of the Jones Girls and everything. So I'm going to show you her. She is actress, singer, entrepreneur, TARAL HICKS. She's in the building.
Y'all clap it up.
Hello.
Say something to her. Pull that mic to her.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Miss Shirley. Yeah, I'm so inspired just by everything you just said, and the video clip that you're still out here doing it and just creating magic on stage. I'm honored to speak with you.
Thank you so much.
And
honored to be in your presence.
and this is comedian GL Douglas.
Hello.
Hi
how
there.
are you?
Hello. Fine.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm enjoying you.
Yes.
You better testify, okay?
Right? Yes. Dropping jewels.
Yes. So let me ask you this, right? Because we hear all the good things and all of that. What are some of the challenges you had to face in this music industry that almost made you say, you know what, I don't know if I want to do this anymore?
Well, for a period of time, there was, how can I say, people weren't really hiring legends, and that was, and at one point, I'm like, okay, they may, maybe they don't want to hear, the music from back in the day. That was a brief period, and certain artists like myself, Melba Moore, Melissa, it was hard because they didn't really know how to market us. But then right before the pandemic, all of a sudden everybody started wanting to see legendary artists. So, and then since the pandemic, it's now like, they got the Queens tour going with Patti LaBelle and Chaka. And, and people, my phone is constantly ringing where people they want to hear the old school music. And I think a lot of it is because the young singers, some of them, because there's some great ones out there that I just love, Moni Love and, Coco Jones and a lot of those girls, they can actually perform and entertain, but a lot of them, because of auto-tunes, when they're performing, they just don't sound the same. Wherein back in the day, we had to do tracks over it, and then you had to sound the exact same way.
Yes.
So that kept that's why a lot of us have kept our chops for all these years. And there was no auto tunes. You had to hit that. You had to be on top of that, though, or the audience, and especially because that's what audience, they come to hear you sound like you did back in the day, or for the current artists, they want to hear the way you sound on the record. And with auto tunes has spoiled a lot of these singers, because it pitches, it gives you perfect pitch, it pitches your voice up, but when it comes time to perform, you're out there singing flat and not making those same runs.
Sounding like Lil Wayne.
Right.
And then consequently, people are like, well, wait a minute, I need to listen to some old school artists.
We were literally just talking about that right before you chimed in. TARAL had brought that up earlier, and we were just saying like there's very little authenticity when it comes to certain artists. Not everybody, but when it comes to certain artists, that there's very little authenticity, and you miss that, because I know for us, it's very important when we get up on that stage that the mics are on. Even if it's a bad day, you might get a little crack here or two, and we make jokes about it, and we, just try to make the best out of every situation. But I feel like that's one of the biggest differences, especially now, especially when it comes to groups, especially. And that was going to be my next question to you, was going to be when it comes to girls groups, especially, because I feel like there's a stigma over us, like as far as like women can't get along, and there's that and that, and we've seen a lot of that. But how important to you is it that there's, and I hate this word, but that there's camaraderie within, R&B music, soul, you know, just within women, especially like groups, sisterhood. Yeah, as far as
I mean, you know, that's what I, you know, because like the Emotions and I, back in the day, they used to try to, you know, say, pit us against each other. The same stuff that they do with SWV and Escape and all of that. Yeah. And my thing is, everybody has their lane. And that's one thing about the Jones Girls. We just love, like in Vogue, you know, we've been overseas. We were overseas with them a couple of times, and they would come to our shows. We would go to their shows, because those, you know, women, we have to support and build up each other. Absolutely. And I love all the female groups out there, Brownstone, Allure, because I just know that the Jones Girls, our lane was the Jones Girls. We know we were some badasses with the harmonies, but that's not saying that the Emotions or Allure or Brownstone or In Vogue is any better or any worse, because they all badasses. Right. And that's why, as women and as females and female groups in particular, we have to support and uplift each other. Right. Like Kathy Sledge and I are very good. We were very good friends, and Joni was my really close friend in Sister Sledge. And people be trying to say, oh, you know, they're jealous or this or that, and that's not even true. That's why the social media and all that this female group is against that. It's not, because it's all about us supporting each other, and everybody's got their lane.
So can I ask you this question? Did you ever meet Escape?
Yes, I've met I think everybody but Candy. The Scott Girls, yes, and Tiny.
Okay.
The only one I have never met is Candy, and they surprised me on a radio interview I did a couple of years back, and the Scott Girls and Tiny were on there, and they said we have some surprise singer, somebody that's coming up next, and they came on the radio and they were telling me how much we inspired them, and then they said we never knew how you guys felt about Who Can I Run To? And I said, I think you guys did an excellent job on Who Can I Run To? I said, because what they did was brought a lot of attention back to the Jones Girls, because our version came out in 1979. Theirs came out in 1995. And that was during that period where I was contemplating we were contemplating not singing anymore or anything, because they really weren't hiring groups from the 80s, you know, because we were old school back in 1995. So, you know, I'm real old school now. But they said, and I told them, I said, you brought back a lot of attention, because you would know, Norman, that what they did was when Escape's version came out, a lot of the DJs would tell people on the radio, listen, y'all think that this is new, but this is a cover of the Jones Girls, and they would play ours. And so a lot of people would be like, oh man, we love that original, you know. So they brought a lot of attention to the Jones Girls. So I thank them for that, and I told them, I said, y'all did a hell of a job, in my opinion.
The crazy thing is, there's a house music artist that lives in Plainfield. She's actually big. Her name is Viola Sykes, and she's redoing Who Can I Run To, like a house version, right? Wow. So she said, yeah, I'm redoing Escape song, Who Can I Run To? I said, hold, wait. I said, back up, back up. The person's song that you're going to redo is coming to Plainfield, right, on July 4th. It's Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls. So I said, let's correct that. She said, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot they did a cover. I said, let's get it right.
Oh, no.
I said, let's get it right.
That's right. And I tell the audience that, because that's one song that I have to do. I let them know. I said, hey, in 1995, a group called Escape did this song, but it was written for and produced for the Jones Girls. And that happens to be my favorite Jones Girls song.
Well, you know what? Listen, we could talk to you forever.
Oh, yeah.
But listen, just tell the world where you're going to be on July 4th.
July 4th, y'all. I'm coming, and I'm bringing all of those Jones Girls classics like Who Can I Run To? And Do You Get Enough Love? So I'll see y'all, and let's celebrate.
Oh, my gosh. We cannot wait.
Yes. So,
wait.
City of Plainfield, get ready for the original.
The original.
Yes, the original. Miss Shirley Jones.
Absolutely.
We're bringing those
legendary
classics,
Jones
y'all,
Girls.
so be there.
Yes,
we all going to be front row. Trust.
Well, listen.
Yes.
Listen, I thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
And we'll be seeing you soon and everything. And thank you for just sharing just some of the history about you and your amazing sisters and everything. We love you here in Plainfield.
We absolutely do.
Oh, well, hey, I love you guys.
Love you so
And
much.
tell your partners in Allure I love them, and I can't wait to see you all on the 4th
We're going to
of
all be
July.
there on the 4th. We promise. We love you so
All
much.
right.
And
Yes.
thank you for those beautiful words. Seriously, it means everything.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care
God
now.
bless. Yes, you have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Again, yes. Let's clap it up for the
Yes.
legendary
So much. She is
Shirley
everything.
Jones. We love her.
And she gives the best hug. Wait till she hugs you.
Yes,
Woo, you feel like a hug from-
listen.
Everybody you love.
All right, we're going to go right into our next guest
Yes,
because
yes.
I've been trying to get her on for
a minute.
Luckily, I had a family connect and everything because I actually was hitting her up and then inboxing her and everything. I was like, oh,
Were you really?
Were you?
all right. We friends on
had no
Facebook and
idea.
everything and everything. You ain't responding. Okay.
Listen,
okay.
I'm sorry
those-
for ignoring you.
Those DMs get weird, Terrell.
They
So
get
we're not gonna
They
take
get
that personally.
real weird.
Absolutely weird.
But no, on a serious tip though, listen.
Super excited to have you.
Amazing person.
Yeah.
Artist. I'll say a fan. I hate that word, but I'll say I've been
do too.
I've
Me
been a
too.
fan for a minute of her music first.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I seen her on the big screen, I was like, okay.
Okay.
All right.
For me, it was the
All right.
opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, it
And
was
now she a
opposite.
triple threat because she's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Welcome to BKS1 Radio, the Storm Warning Show.
Officially.
The amazing, the beautiful, the talented TARAL Hicks Dawson.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for
on this
being here.
beautiful night.
My friend kept telling me to say, I said, I don't know no Tiana. Kiana. They've been bugging us all day.
Listen, just in case y'all don't know, she's been in some big
my
films, still doing her thing and all of that. She worked with some greats and but again, I first, knew about her from the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got put on to her, a friend of mine in the game was like, Norm, can you do some beats behind this? Can you come up with a remix for a song she had called Distant Lover? And it had the remix had Grand Poobah on it.
Yes.
So that's when I got affiliated with, TARAL and everything like that. And then when I seen her in films and everything, I was like, wow. But again, welcome to the show.
Yes.
And just tell the world right now what's going on with TARAL Hicks Dawson.
What's going on with TARAL Hicks Dawson? Well, first and foremost, I'm alive.
Yes.
That part.
Clap it up for that part.
I'm alive.
Alive and still looking 15.
We all survived the pandemic.
Right.
God.
Right.
I'm doing great. My family, I have my family, still pursuing my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, and loving God and
Amen.
just being who I am authentically.
That's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny because before the interview, right? You know me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening to a lot of her joints or whatever. And I know you hate this word. Don't beat me up for saying it. But TARAL is so underrated.
Absolutely.
I know you hate that word.
I'm an unsung.
Yeah.
Join the club.
I'm an unsung.
Join the
But it's
club.
okay.
We're gonna talk about
they
that. 'Cause that
make
was gonna be my
unsung
question.
popular. So look, I'm a popular unsung.
So do you? Because I just heard you say I hate that word. Do you cringe the way we do when people are like, oh, the celebrity and whatever? Do you
Yes.
feel a way when people forget that you're TARAL and not Jane and not Keisha and not, you know what I mean? Like,
I do, and I know you mentioned fan. I do hate the word fan. I love to say supporters.
See, Virgo. It must be a Virgo thing.
Because fan can get a little creepy, but the support comes when you dig in your pocket and you buy my music, or you go support my films, or you show up at my events. That's support to me. So I love to say my supporters. So hey, supporters.
So let me take you back here, right? When you see this, when you see that,
wow.
Where does that? What place? What space does that take you back to?
The hallways of Motown. Running up and down, in and out of Dice, and Andre Harrell's office and Eddie F's office, and getting the songs together and finding the producers and the right sound that would capture my vocals and who I am as an artist. What else? Just, I had some good times at Motown. Met a lot of people, learned a lot of things. Grew from being a young girl into a woman, all my years there at Motown did that. I have to say, what we're missing today is artist development.
Facts.
There
was
no other company that would put you through the training and the artist development like Motown did.
Absolutely.
I mean, they stayed true to who they were as a label. And I appreciate that because I think that's missing today.
Yeah.
Acting or singing? Where's your passion?
Both.
Both.
We split.
Yeah.
Y'all split?
We can't cheat on each other.
50-50.
Can't have one without the other. They go together. They're connected.
Absolutely.
So what part of your life, right? Coming up,
Yes.
growing up, where you said, singing is what I want to do? Was it singing first or acting?
It was singing first because that gift was birthed in church. My grandfather was pastor, and my parents are musicians. My mom plays the piano and the organ. My dad is like a quartet singer. My sisters, my older sisters, Deatra and Miriam, they sang way before me. Miriam and I are like 10 years apart, so I was always looking up to them. So I don't think I really had a choice but to just love music because, my family is music.
Right.
So discovering that I had the gift in church, cultivating that gift by watching my sisters and singing a lot in church. Then we had the opportunity, my sisters first, to be a part of a off-Broadway show called Mama I Wanna Sing. And that's where I was able to receive all of my performance skills just by going on stage at 12 years old. With a bunch of adults because I was the youngest child up there, aside from the girl that played Little Doris, which is one of the girls was Anisha Figueroa. And she's a noted gospel singer today. And watching Desiree Coleman and, of course, Deatra Hicks do the leads. And I just was sucking it all in, like taking it all in. And it's hard for me to split the two because in that show, I was doing both. I was singing and I was acting. And that's when I knew, like, I have to do both of these things.
So was Bronx Tale your first film?
Yes.
This is crazy. You know why it's crazy?
I was 17.
How you come out the box?
Right. Swinging.
Working with Robert De Niro. And
Chaz Commentary.
Yo.
Crazy.
That's crazy to me because when I look at this picture, and I'm going to take you back.
My God.
What do you see when you see that?
Ooh. I see my first acting coach ever.
Really?
Yes.
And was he a great one?
He was an awesome acting coach. Incredible. I mean, he knew exactly what he wanted out of us. And we were on the spot. We got hired for the job. There was no way I was going to mess it up. So I'm just ready, just standing there like, what do you need me to do, Bob?
Bob.
What do you need from me? Okay, I'm going to give you that. And that's how Jane was born.
Listen.
Classic.
No disrespect to your husband and nothing like that.
Oh, he knows.
But everybody wanted a Jane.
She was the it girl.
Everybody wanted a Jane after watching this movie and everything. I was like,
Everybody
Look,
wanted
look.
a Jane, and everybody wanted to be a Jane.
But the crazy thing is, it turned me into a little. I was like, did she just open the door for me? You know, like real talk.
To this day,
like,
he makes a joke. He says, "And she opened the door for me."
Yeah.
Every time somebody unlocks the door, but it's true. I think, because that was '93. I was 17.
But
Yeah.
she
And
bodied that.
like, when I tell you that the
She
first time
bodied
I
that.
saw that movie, it was such a culture shock. You know what I mean? Because there's it's different when we witness things happening in real life. We witness racism all the time. So to have a love story being told in that way, and then you have all these other all these other like pieces of the story with his father, the relationship he had with Sonny, and all these things. But there was something about UNC's chemistry,
Right.
and then just the fact that you guys found that chemistry within all the ugly stuff and all the hate.
Yeah.
You literally, and I told you that when we saw you at the show a couple of months back. I said she set the bar so high, and not just for black women, because that's the first. You know what I mean? And we need more of that. But like, just my God, just for anybody who has a dream or who wants to do everything, like she said, she can't pick between the two. But there were so many girls that wanted to be that. You know what I mean? So like, what kind of advice would you give to somebody who is looking to pursue maybe a singing career, acting career? What would you tell them to look out for? To just whatever.
Basically, you have to be your biggest fan without ego. You have to believe in yourself when nobody else does. Yeah. When I landed at Bronx Tale, my family, we were in Gun Hill Projects, which everybody knows is rough.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not as rough as some of the others, but it still was rough,
yeah.
And when I received the audition, every single time I went back, it was like, I got to get out of here. I got to get my family out of here. It's a drive. It's a drive. So wherever you are in life, your dreams is what's going to help you get out of that place.
Right.
As long as you keep cultivating it, as long as you keep learning, always be a student, study your craft. Whatever it is, it's going to move you into your destiny and that place of promised land, because that is what God gave you to make you.
Absolutely.
But you have to work at it. And so I was working hard. I mean, as a 12-year-old, I'm in the theater working and then going to school. I don't know if you guys remember Ron Grant, the late, great Ron Grant, and Chaz and Wilson's.
Oh my gosh.
But I was 16 years old. I was probably not supposed to be in that restaurant.
Right.
But I stayed in there looking at everybody that would go on stage.
That was the scene
to
for the open
perfect,
mics.
to perfect their craft. And I'm just, I'm looking and I'm like, and every time he called me up there, I was like, I'm killing this because they're going to wonder why this little girl is in here, but then they're going to know when I leave the stage why she's in here.
Now, when you say Gun Hill, you mean Gun Hill in the Bronx, right?
Yes.
We have to
Gun
specify
Hill.
that because, so you're a New York girl.
I'm a New York girl, yes.
So my whole thing was like, how was it, like seriously, like just being within, because I'm from New York, so I'm Spanish Harlem originally, but I live near Gun Hill now.
Okay.
And you see the difference, but how was it back then, and how, we know it was hard, but like, how did you manage to even like try to focus on even having a career within those, because we lived on some circumstances when you live in New York.
So my parents did not play, and they kept us in church.
Absolutely.
All
the
time.
Right.
So I didn't really have a lot of downtime to get in trouble. It's either we were at church or we were working in the theater.
Okay.
So they kept us really busy. And when I did go outside, I needed to be in the house before those lights went down. Or I was getting a switch. So, our parents didn't play back then. They meant what they said.
Yes.
So I had to be in before that light, the lamppost lights, because that's what they had in the projects at the time. When those lights went out, I needed to be in the house. And because we were so creative, like I said, my sisters are artists as well, and all this singing was going on in the house. That's really all we cared about. Right. We didn't really care about anything else. As long as we were on that scene doing those things, we were good. I stayed in the theater from Thursday to Sunday, church Wednesday is tarry service for all those old school people out there. If you don't know what that is, you on the knees and you're saying Jesus, Jesus, Jesus 1,000 times.
Right.
So and it kept me in going to school, and then I was with Ron on Sunday nights, and that was my teenage life. Yeah. So everybody, is not as fortunate to have the opportunities to be in spaces like that. So I knew that if God allowed me to be in this space or these spaces, this was what I was meant to do. Right. And I didn't want to take advantage of the opportunities. I just wanted to grow.
Absolutely.
I got to take it back because you went into another thing, but I got to take it back to Bronx Tale real quick. Just preparing for that role, Jane, right? Did you have to embody somebody you knew of that was like Jane, or you just went right into your own thing?
I just embodied myself. Jane is me.
Jane
is me. Jane was exactly who I was as a 16-year-old. Her sweetness, her kindness. She had a little feisty. That feisty is from the Bronx, because you had to be ready when the girls pulled up on you and wanted to fight. So that when you hear her screaming Willie, that's where that came from. It's like, don't try me, because I will knock you out. But that's where that goes. Let the sweetness pull
now
you, baby.
She's her husband's bodyguard.
Right. No, don't mess with him either. GL can tell you. No.
Oh my
Shout
God.
out
He's
to
really the
Lauren.
bodyguard. He don't play when it comes to about me.
Oh,
Okay,
That's what's
Lauren,
up.
playing.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
So when you were growing up, did you have
I'm
sorry, did you have little situations like that where you had like the boys always trying to cut
yes.
eyes and whatever?
Yes, I did. I always felt that I was going to get it, because a lot of people don't really like, I'm not trying to big up myself, but I wasn't ugly. So a lot of people don't like cute girls that think they're cute. I thought I was cute a little bit. That don't work. That don't work in the Bronx.
Backwards.
She really is. Benjamin. I call her Benjamin Button all the time.
She aging backwards.
All the time.
That doesn't really work in the Bronx. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I had a couple of tussles, but you know how us Bronx girls do. We got to grab that grease, because we don't want no scratches.
Vaseline.
Because if I came home with scratches on my face, my mom was going to get me.
Right.
For sure. But
so
for the
funny.
most part, I like being around people. I was a social butterfly. I loved having friends, and look, he wasn't worth fighting over. You want him?
You
go
can
ahead.
have him, right?
Because back then, please, chicks' faces was getting sliced
Oh, yeah.
over
Right.
a dude.
Yeah, it was
like,
crazy. It was
next,
crazy.
and I'm like,
I'm okay.
I have to work this.
Right.
I don't need no mess ups over here.
Right.
I need to keep myself intact. So,
real.
yeah.
Oh,
So this clip right here, right? So I'm gonna play a clip from Bronx Tale, which again is definitely one of my favorite movies
Absolutely.
and everything. And even though when we talk about the crazy thing about Bronx Tale and Belly, that's when she really showed her range, because Jane was goody two shoes.
She was.
She was feisty though. She was good too.
No, but Keisha was a whole different.
Oh yeah.
Come
Oh
on.
yeah. That
We
was 360.
We're gonna talk about that range. That's when I say, yo, she's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whole different.
Keisha was naughty and bougie.
That part.
And bad.
How we say bougetto?
Right, bougetto.
Bougetto.
Bad.
Here's the clip from Bronx Tale real quick.
You okay?
No. My brother got beat up in your neighborhood.
What are you talking about?
Yesterday, some Italian guys beat up my brother in your neighborhood.
So what's that have to do with me?
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
Kalojo, please don't lie to me.
Jane, I'm telling you the truth. I wasn't there.
We'll see who's lying. My brother's in the car. I told him I was going out with an Italian, so he came along. He recognized you and said you were the one that beat him up. You did that to his face.
Jane, I didn't touch her, brother. I swear to God. Believe me, I didn't touch him.
Okay, we'll see. Wait!
Yeah, that's him. That's him. Did this to me, man.
I didn't do anything to
Yes,
you.
you did.
I didn't do anything to
Willie,
you.
are you sure it was him?
I'm positive it was him.
Please, don't believe him. I swear to God. I didn't touch
So
him.
you were there.
Yeah, I was there, but I didn't do anything, Jane. Believe me. I'm telling
You
you the
lied
truth.
to me. You just told me you weren't there.
Jane,
So
I
mean you
swear, it
didn't
was the
touch
other guys.
him.
I tried to help
How
him.
my eye get like this
It
thing?
was the other guys. I tried to help
Fuck
you.
Man.
You know I didn't do anything. You know it was the other guy.
You on top of me.
It was the other guys that tried to help
It
you.
was you. It was you.
I was the only guy that tried to help you.
It was you,
And
mother.
you repay me like this?
That no.
Do anything.
It's you.
You.
Yeah, that part I was like, oh, you done messed up. See.
Oh yeah, I felt that N word. I felt that.
Oh, yeah. I was how easy is it for you to watch yourself on screen? Like, are you comfortable with watching yourself back? Because I know,
You know, I'm always looking at myself like I could have did that better.
Yeah.
I could have did this better.
Yes.
But I guess that's the Virgo perfectionist
It
in me,
actually
maybe.
is.
You know,
It's annoying, because we're so critical of ourselves,
Yeah.
very meticulous about every little thing.
Nah, I wouldn't change a thing.
I
with
wouldn't
that.
have, absolutely not. Nope. Like I said, we were all young girls growing up, and like seeing that story, kind of like, when you're faced with like boys coming up to you and whatever, you knew I think we all knew what we wanted, even at an early age. Like we had the best examples coming. Well, I can't say everybody, but I know I did. I knew what I wanted when it came to like falling in love one day or whatever. And seriously, like that movie was like, it was it for me. That was one of the first movies that I saw that showed diversity, that showed something that, we go through in life on an everyday basis, but people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And man, like I said, everybody wanted to be Jane.
All right, so somebody from I'm going to answer the question.
Oh, that's Emmanuel.
All right, so somebody from Special Delivery Show said, I have a question for TARAL. In the silly video, directed by Hype Williams, by the way, fantastic cover, did any glitter get in your eyes?
Shout out to Emmanuel.
No glitter got in my eyes. And the funny thing about the silly video is that video was completely Hype's vision. I was fighting with him on set, like, why am I greased up? What is this glitter? What are these glitter tears? What am I supposed to be, a clown? What's happening here? It's like, just trust me. It's all creative. It's a creative look. And I'm like, because if it was up to me, I probably would have been looking like a princess and all dolled up, and just vogued out, and but no, he was like, we need the rawness of the song, and it needs to feel raw, and this is how people wouldn't expect to see you, so you need to be the way they wouldn't expect to see you. So I'm like, okay, whatever, Hype, okay, sure.
So how hard was that also? Like, I know for us it was difficult coming up and having everybody dictate what we gonna look like, how we gonna sound, what we gonna wear, because we got in trouble. I mean, our album cover alone, our parents were like, what in the hell? It was just crochet outfits. You didn't really see anything, but it was very suggestive, like we look grown. Yeah. So how hard was that for you to be able to dictate or not dictate creatively, like have, that creative input to say, well, I don't like this. Like you said, he said, trust me, and you went with it. But was there any times where you did something because you trusted somebody, but then you look back at it and like, I should have said something?
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of those moments, but okay, if we're talking about the Motown days, my mom with her push-up was not playing. When I say push-up, I mean, the roller set and then and she would walk in that office. She would walk in that office and she would look at them like, my daughter's not going to be naked. So I don't know, because I think that cover that you saw was not the original cover. I had on a Fendi bathing suit that they wanted to make the cover, and it was a two-piece, and it was giving all of Foxy Brown just
right.
boom, and she was like, she's 18.
Yeah,
where is she gonna grow from this? The next thing is just gonna be no clothes.
Right.
So
with that being said, how was that transition going from Bronx Tale to Keisha? Because Keisha was fierce. And Keisha was fierce. Right. Keisha was showing skin, but at the time that I did Keisha, I was 24, about 24.
You was grown.
Yeah, it happened a little ways after. Yeah. Now, as far as the sex scene, I didn't know that was going to go down. That was a surprise to my eyes.
I actually just saw your interview recently about that. Yeah,
that was a surprise. So in my head, I'm like, okay, my sins is that I'm gonna be a little bit naked. I'm gonna be cussing, dropping some F-bombs, some S-bombs. Okay, the Lord will forgive me. Mom, I got to do this. This is what the actresses are doing. Right. And this is really gonna prove that I can really act. Yeah. So I think that, this will be good for me. When I got to the premiere and I'm sitting in a row, my husband now, that was my boyfriend then, sitting next to me, my mom, my sisters. I look down this way. P. Diddy sitting down there, Faith Evans and Stevie J, they're all on the row.
Right.
That scene came on. My mouth said. I looked at my mother. I looked at my boyfriend. And then I saw P. Diddy look down the aisle like.
All right, you want to go to the after party?
Right.
You to the party.
Right.
Now I know.
Oh, Jesus.
And I
coming
was,
to the party.
my heart just stopped, like boom, 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 because everything flashed in my head, like, oh my God, then all the upcoming auditions that I get, they're gonna want me to do sex scenes. They're gonna want me to be naked. They're gonna, so because of that, I had to say a lot of no's because that wasn't me. Shortly after, I went on Angie Martinez. We spoke about it, and, you know, I got to clear the air, and I learned a valuable lesson when shooting that, and that is that you really have to get everything in writing that you want to do and you don't want to do. So for you aspiring future actresses that are getting in this game, you don't really have any control over anything that is not in writing. So I didn't have control as to say, you can't take this character here, especially something that's going to be a defamation of my character, my personal life, because it wasn't in writing. So when I left the set, that thing went down. I remember my body double, she reached out to me years later, and she said they tried to get me to do the scene, and I said no. And so when she left, I guess they hired the person that was going to go all the way. All the way. And that scene went down.
No,
because
I laughed because I saw the interview when she said she had disappointment on so many people's faces. Like, I'm mad about that.
No, because I didn't know she had a body double.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had a body.
Yeah.
Okay, even in the scene, you see the lighting change.
The lighting
it changes.
changes,
You don't.
You
You
make
never.
me watch Belly for the.
You watch it
Because
you
you're
see
going
her
to see
clearly
it at one point,
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
gonna watch
all
Belly
the
now,
blues
too.
and all this
when
stuff.
I went down to the couch, she threw me down to the couch. My next scene was me laying in the bed,
Right.
with my arms and stuff out.
Right.
That in between thing that happened.
Right.
I was nowhere
Hold
to be
somebody
found.
else.
I was at home eating some
Eating
Chinese
some
food. That's what I was doing.
There was nowhere to be
I
found.
was eating chicken wings and pork fried rice. So
is great.
when I saw that the night of
That's
the
real,
premiere,
though.
I was just like, wow. And I had he knows to this day, I had an attitude with Hype for a very long time. You know, because that was something I really had to forgive in my heart because it hurt me. Because I'm like, you know, I never signed on to be a soft porn actress. You know what I'm saying? So especially coming from where I come from, and you know, but the words of my mom was encouraging, and she said, you know, this is why I've always been here with you, because I'm here to protect you. You know, and I wanted to be grown. And Belly was something that I did kind of do on my own. My mom wasn't really on the set. My sister came every now and then, but she wasn't really on the set. And that little thing just slid in there.
Right.
And it really, I had to recover from that.
Wow.
The crazy thing is, you know, because I listen to a lot of different actresses take on sex scenes. Sometimes the scene does call for it, right? Like if you look at Halle Berry, right? And what was that, Monsters Ball?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Right?
She got a lot of flack for that.
She got flack for it, but I get the scene. You know what I'm saying? Just as a creative,
Yeah, right.
I get it.
Yeah.
But then also, you know, like you actually having to do the scene, like I get what you're saying too, like.
And I mean, kudos to those who are comfortable doing that. But I wasn't one of those.
Right.
I was forced into a space that now I have to take accountability for when it wasn't even me.
Right.
Or, you know, I have to get this attention that I didn't ask for.
Right.
Because now everybody wants to sleep with Keisha.
Right.
Like, but
Dream on.
like, you don't know what my butt cheeks look like. You don't know what my breasts look like. You don't know anything. That was not me.
Oh my
My
gosh.
husband knows, but y'all don't know.
Right.
So there you go. You know?
Oh my gosh. Well,
So-
we got people in the comments, I think, trying to comment.
Oh, hold on.
My brother Victor says, please tell her. He said, that's my celebrity crush. He said,
Aw.
hi.
Hi, Victor.
Oh, hi, Victor. You said you couldn't
Denise Sparrow's showing you a lot of
Hi,
love.
Denise.
She said, hi, Terrell.
Bronx
Hi,
Tales, a classic.
Denise.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a classic. But what made that movie also classic again too was the door test that made it classic. You know,
It just gave all of us youngsters just a lesson in chivalry and respect and and all these things that we want in relationships. I mean, Lord knows it's gone to.
Yeah.
I can't say it for everybody, but just, being 17, like I said before, and just seeing that, it gave people hope. Like,
Well,
when I get older, I want that.
No. On the flip side now, being that Terrell's in the building, that scene actually got me played out by a chick because I was like,
Really?
oh, you're not gonna open the door for me like Jane did in Bronx Tales? She said, first of all, I'm not Jane. So
You go open your own daggone door.
So you got me cussed
There
out.
was some haters. They didn't want to do that for y'all. There was some haters, and it's all good. But it's a lot of life lessons in A Bronx Tale, and it really is a classic. And even when I did it, I didn't know that it would, become the fave of many households.
Oh,
and yeah, I'm grateful. And then to watch Meghan Markle reenact the door test at her wedding,
At her
I'm
wedding,
like,
that was
okay,
so
we got
funny.
a prince and a queen doing this, and princess, I guess. But I was so honored because when I saw it, I knew exactly where it came from, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. So,
facts.
So I wanted to ask you really, really quickly.
Before I show this clip.
You expressed how it was working with Robert De Niro, which is insane. How was it working with Chaz? And how was it working with Rest in Peace with DMX? Because he was a character.
Okay. Well, I know that I landed the role of a Bronx Tale because of Chaz. He was just so encouraging on set, happy every day. He brought an energy that really made us love what it was we were doing.
Right.
And now DMX is a character.
That he is.
He was really sweet. Earl. He was two people. He was Earl, and then he was DMX.
X, right.
And so for the table read, he was Earl, and he just wanted to be taken seriously as an actor. But on set, he turned into X, and he was quoting scriptures, reading the Bible. So I saw a spiritual side of him that confused me back then because I was like, "Who are you?"
Right.
What's going on here? But okay. Sure. Okay. We're going to talk about this, and then we're going to go in there and cuss.
Right.
No problem. But he seemed like a person that was just conflicted with a lot of things, but just trying to keep his life together, and his personality was very sweet. So.
I heard when he met you, he thought you was, I mean, you are, but he thought you was like this big superstar or whatever, and he was nervous.
He was.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm not Halle Berry, but okay, I'll take it, sure. But he learned his entire script for the table read. I'm like, who does that?
That's crazy, right?
Because I still need time. But he learned the entire, I think, he just wanted to impress Hype. He wanted to impress me, and he wanted to take it serious. So, rest in peace.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
rest in peace. Rest in
Yeah.
peace. All right. I just got to show this clip, right? Two of our back in the day crushes in this clip right here. Here's the clip.
And I know he's the worst type of nigga to have, but yet
what?
I don't know. I mean, I keep hoping that maybe one day he'll be more like sincere, more into life, more into me. You have that.
Keisha, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Tommy's not gonna be shit but what he is. I mean, you just have to understand it's like certain types of people that just accept the bad in life, and that's cool with them.
I hate to say it, but you're right, It just hurts to be alone, And the only thing I have is fucked up. It's like, is that all there is?
Keisha, you got life. You are breathing, you're healthy. Fuck that nigga. You don't need no nigga, Keisha, to make you feel like you're whole.
But you and Sincere are so happy.
But don't mistake it. I'm happy with Sincere because I'm happy. If I wasn't happy with him, then I have to do what I have to do. You get what I'm saying? You have to do the same for you.
I don't know what that is, T.
I mean, I think you'll be all right. You're just gonna have to, take it one day at a time.
And I know he's the worst type of nigga to have, but yet
what?
Little, and
She is.
And she had on heels and I had on heels.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
How was it
They're
working?
cute.
How was it working with T-Boz and Nas and
They were
everybody else?
They were all great. They were all great. I think everybody just wanted to give the characters what we needed to give them to, help you guys to understand what each character represented.
Right.
And I think we all did a pretty decent job of that.
yeah.
Great job.
I think it's awesome to be a part of, like, you know how we say it's for the culture.
Yeah.
But just to have those movies that people, like, when you say what's one of your favorite black movies, you hear Brown Sugar or you hear Bronx Tale, you hear but I think it's just like super super dope that you weathered the storm, because you were going through a lot trying to figure out what to do, what not to do, what you didn't accept, or what the case may be, but you still delivered, and that's gonna live on for that's history right there.
Yeah, me and Keisha are like this now.
Right,
that's my girl.
That's my girl.
She forgave me. I forgave her. We won, and now
So-
we're just out here, just
chilling.
Yep.
Which
just
character
vibing.
did you enjoy playing the most between Keisha and Jane?
Trina. No.
Trina was fun. Trina was fun.
Yeah,
She
Trina
was a
was
lot. Now,
funny.
people sleep on the Salon, but that was a fun movie to make as well. And then working with Vivica Fox, that woman is incredible on set. Like, she gets it. And so to be there learning from her and, I don't know, Subway Stories really, really pushed me too. That pushed me because I'm in the subway. I have to be emotional for my mom that's dying in the hospital. And then I have to sing and stay on key in the subway while the train is going by.
Right.
That was complicated. But I made it through. And people to this day tell me that how touched they are by that song, because if they've lost their mom, and it's comforting. And so that was a proud moment. I felt like I redeemed myself after I did Subway Stories. I felt like God welcomed me back into heaven. I'm only playing, y'all. I'm only playing. But I felt good.
Taral,
No, go ahead.
we're friends.
Go ahead.
You have to, because remember we had that conversation. You have to tell them the role that you turned down, and I was like, I had to call her.
Yes.
When I heard that interview, I was like, "Are you serious?"
I turned down the role shortly after Belly because I was a little damaged from the whole, scene. And that role was Love and Basketball.
What?
Yes.
I didn't mean to
had
scream.
the same.
Monica?
Monica.
Are you serious?
Monica. So, and people want to know, well, why would you turn down Monica? So just put yourself in my shoes. Belly just came out. I had already said to myself, they're going to want me to do this in every movie now. When they approached me with Love and Basketball, I read the script. My mom, we both read the script. And she was just like, it's up to you. But it was a full-blown Jason Lyrics love scene in there. It was a lot going on. And I was just like, I didn't want to do it. And then I didn't, now that I look back, I say that I regret it because I probably could have handled it better if I was more mature in my thinking as far as how to handle those situations.
Right.
But it was so close to what had already just happened. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, so, she just went like this. And okay. I mean, I could have did that. If I was going to be able to cover myself. But then I realized that she accepted the role and she made it what she wanted it to be. And I wasn't thinking like that. So that was the first. That was the first one. Another one came after that. Another big one. But that one I probably would still say no to this day. I mean, most people probably wouldn't agree, but because of who I am, I probably would have said no.
What was it?
Still, but I also landed the role of Bird in the series Soul Food.
In Soul Food.
But them scenes was
You would have killed that.
I would have. But y'all remember those scenes?
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all know what was going on. I wouldn't be married today. Let's
Lord.
just say that.
Yeah.
So, it's
I mean, it was better than Faith.
What? Yeah.
I mean, just saying, but.
Yeah. But, again, it's like regrets, but no regrets.
Right.
At the same token, because sometimes a no is a good no, depending on who you are. And for me, those were good no's. But would I have loved to been in the space without all that stuff?
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, those would have been great opportunities, but they just wasn't opportunities for me.
Yeah.
And
Respect
the
it.
actresses that did those roles, I respect them. They killed it. They're beautiful, and it was for them.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And shout out to Melinda too.
Melinda, yeah.
Yes,
Mel-
I love her. She's awesome.
That's a friend of mine. So
Yes,
shout out to her.
she's awesome.
And I know her sister is listening right now too, Lisa.
So that's the Lisa. Hi,
Yeah,
Lisa.
yeah.
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. When I think I heard now and loving basketball now, I almost I could see
I
it.
could definitely see that.
Yeah,
Now, I had to legit
I went
call
through
her.
weeks. I went through weeks of training for that part, and I was so happy when I landed it. And then we went back to the negotiating board with my agent and my mom, and we was just like, well, that scene was called the virgin scene. It was like, well, Terrell's a little uncomfortable with the nudity and then the touching and the that. And so they were just like, the director was just basically like, well, that's how I see it. That's how I visualize it. So, if she doesn't want to do that, then, we'll have to pass. So I was like, okay, because, my kids going to be saying that.
Right.
They ain't seen me naked yet.
You know what's so funny? I had a talk to, I forgot who I was talking to. It was a whole bunch of us.
The bathroom one day, like,
Right.
That ain't happened. That ain't happened yet.
We were talking. You came up in conversation one time because I said to one of my friends, I said, Terrell would have killed being in Greenleaf.
Oh, Greenleaf.
Oh, yeah.
Now I love Greenleaf.
Only because I know,
Yeah.
from me researching and whatever, like I know what you're about. And I'm like, she would have absolutely killed a role in Green because, you can pick or choose.
Exactly.
What you want and what you don't want to do. It would have been dope just to see her next to like Lynn Whitfield. And
But
all those
listen,
people.
guys, don't count me out because I just believe that perfect thing, God has it, and He's gonna drop it. He's gonna drop
what is
it.
that perfect thing for you? What is the perfect role for you if you could choose
Actually,
one?
the perfect role for me is one that I'm creating for myself.
That part, okay. We'll talk
And
about it.
that's the perfect role for me, and I'm actually in development of doing that right now.
Nice.
I'm a caregiver for my mom. She has Alzheimer's dementia, and
Me too.
so this story is based on that, and it's going to be a series and just very interesting, and it embodies everything that I am, from the acting, the music, the family life. GL's going to make some appearances
I'm
in
gonna
it.
be mad.
GL.
Nice.
Yeah, so
They don't know I act, She
be acting.
I know.
You be acting.
But yeah, and that's the good thing about today, that as Shirley was saying, like, we can brand ourselves now and we can take control. And I believe that God is going to give me that chance to really show this world who I am.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So you in something? I don't know if it came out yet. Something called Illusions.
Illusions? You saw me in something?
No, it's something coming out called Illusions.
I don't know about
See, that's
that.
why you can't look at
What
it.
the internet telling you? Look,
Yeah,
somebody
IMDb be saying
lying.
some stuff. They be
Somebody
just
lying.
Somebody lying. I don't know nothing
They
about
just
no
be
illusions.
They be making
Right.
up stuff about you.
No, I don't know
They
anything
said you
about
in 3
illusions.
episodes.
No.
She said.
I have a movie on
That's an illusion.
Apple right now called Gaslight. I have a movie called The Agnostic.
Right.
Yeah. Those are the movies that I'm in right now.
Okay. All right. Because they be straight up lying. You saw it.
Yeah,
right?
you can't believe everything you read. You absolutely can't.
So I got to show this clip real quick. A real quick little trailer from Salon.
Yes.
Because I like that movie.
I like it too.
A lot of people,
It was fun.
Yeah.
And rest in peace to the guy that kept giving it to me in this movie. He passed away. But yeah, this was a fun movie to make, and it was literally in one location the whole entire film.
Oh, that's dope.
That's crazy.
It was fun.
Here's the clip real quick.
My God.
Hi, can I help you with anything?
Yes, I'm here to see Miss Smith.
This spring,
That man sure was fun.
it's all about the hardship.
My God.
Hi, can I help you with anything?
Yes, I'm here to see Miss Smith.
This spring,
That man sure was.
I watched it like maybe 3 times and everything. I like it. Shout out to Vivica.
Yes.
She cool people.
She's very cool.
Yes. We had her on the show as well.
Nice.
And everything. So shout out to Vivica. Now let's talk about the entrepreneur part of you. Because I've been seeing this. We got to talk about this thing right here, the TARAL HICKS collection.
Yes, the TARAL HICKS collection by Selfie Cosmetics. I don't know if you guys can see this, but yeah, you got that. You got that by Selfie Cosmetics. It is my own lip line, and I'm so excited about it because I wanted to branch off in the beauty space, and I was like, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? And Selfie reached out to me, and I was like, this is perfect. I love this. It's vegan. It's natural. The colors embody who I am. They're captivating. They're beautiful colors. I have a plain Jane, which is the name of a Bronx Tale, a Bronx Tale character. I have a Keisha Clear. I have a Fuchsia Dreams. I have a Sassy Bronx. You know about that because we sassy, we spicy.
My favorite.
I have a Fine Wine. GL is wearing it right now. Yes, Fine Wine. And this is what my box look like. The tube lights up.
I love that
This one is for you.
Yes.
This is a Fuchsia Dreams.
Thank you.
And I'm excited to branch off into this space. Thank God for preserving me, and that I'm gonna just go ahead and run with the compliments that you all give me about how young I look.
So it's not a compliment; it's facts.
I'm gonna go ahead and run with that and stay in this space. I'm developing my skincare line now, so look out for that soon. But this is the start to something just really beautiful in a space that I longed to be in for a really long time, and now it's happening. So I say that to say I'm a little old, but not really.
Child, don't even use that word no more.
But guys, don't give up on what it is you want to pursue, because there is no time or no perfect time when things should happen. They're going to happen in your life when they happen. And for me, the perfect example of that, and someone that really inspires me, is Angela Bassett. She inspires me in a lot of ways. Her age, her gift, just everything. And she's looking at us like, I'm not going nowhere.
Right.
I'm here to stay. Right. And so, I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm here to stay.
With all that being said, what would you say to, because we hear it a lot, like there's so many people that have ideas, if you will, and dreams and aspirations, but they're afraid to start because they might not be financially ready or whatever. What advice would you give to people like that as far as just going out and getting it?
Well, because we have social media, you can start with baby steps. If you have a name, you could just start showing people that name, get the licensing for it. Those are little things you can do, and put it out there and let people get ready for what's about to be birthed. Small steps, take small steps, and pray for investors, and, pray for investors, because God will speak to the heart of someone that believes in you and help to push you to that next place that you're supposed to go. I mean, how many times have we wanted to do something and someone out of the blue, like for me, the cosmetic line is just that. I said it, I want to be in the beauty space. Boom. This cosmetic line reach out from out of the blue. And I'm like, okay, absolutely. So speak those things into existence and put forth the action, and things will all pan out the way they should for you.
Absolutely. Now, I know you got a lot of support with this as well. Shout out to Tracy Spencer.
Yes.
Yeah, so shout out to her.
Friends.
And I'm just going to run some of her support
awesome.
System up there, because the product, what I notice everybody's saying about the product, one thing they all have in common, they love the light.
The light.
They love
they love the light.
Yeah, she got it.
Yeah, look at that.
Can you show that?
You're in a dark space and there's no light.
Oh, yes.
And it has the mirror.
And it has a mirror.
A clear mirror, too.
Do you know how many times?
Wait a minute, hold on.
But
it got a mirror on it too?
Yes. There's a mirror on it,
has a mirror
right here.
So like if you're at an event and it's dark and you need to freshen up, you could just, you don't got to run to the bathroom.
Oh, hold up. I'm selling right now.
I was like, that's genius.
So the actual website is what?
The website is www.selfiecosmetics, that's with a C, .com. And shout out to Nicole, who's the boss, the owner of Selfie Cosmetics, for giving me this brand deal, and to first Maurice for introducing us. He's a part of my management team, and yeah, it's above and beyond from here.
That's awesome.
I hope I put it in there right, because
it's CELFIE. So www.CELFIE, selfiecosmetics.com.
Right.
So are you planning on expanding more on the cosmetics, like beyond the lip gloss, or are you just going to?
I definitely do want to expand beyond that, but I'm definitely going to step into a skincare space because I got to give people the secret.
Yeah.
To
Listen,
beautiful skin.
But I think it's so important, especially for women of color, because I hate this thing that's going on with Black women not feeling beautiful and thinking that women, with my skin tone are better. No, like we all have something that can add, to things that you're doing or whatever. We all, and we all like to be enhanced in some kind of way.
Listen,
so
exactly,
and you got to stop that.
Mrs. Hicks Dawson changed the game.
Exactly.
She changed the game.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at things that are happening now, like you hear it all the time, like with Chris Brown, where he only likes light skinned girls and this and third. Like there's a favoritism sometimes. This whole colorism thing. It's a thing, and it shouldn't be. Especially with me growing up 17 years old and. It's gonna sound weird, but I used to always say, "I wish I was darker." My grandmother was your complexion. My grandmother was your complexion, and I used to look at her like, "She's just the prettiest thing." And my mother was but we're all diverse, like Afro Latinas from Puerto Rico, whatever the case may be. So I grew up, all my friends, Black, Puerto Rican, whatever. But I always wanted to have a darker skin tone, and people are like, "Oh, why? What's wrong with your skin tone?" Nothing, I guess. But I don't know where it came from. I just thought it was just beautiful. You know what I mean? So and people need to start realizing that no matter what skin tone, hue of color, whatever, we all got it. You just got to work it.
And I think for me, I never really looked at that because I grew up with a lot of just strong, beautiful chocolate women, and I have lighter skinned aunts as well, and we didn't really focus on that. And if we were young and somebody said you Black, they got in trouble. They got beat down.
Right.
Got beat down in my family anyway.
But didn't you model for a bit too?
I did model. I mean, as an artist, that comes with the territory.
Right.
You get called to do little different things. I did sign with Beth Ann for a short period.
Right.
But then back in those days, you got to choose something. You can't do it all. They kind of put that in our heads. So I focused more on the music and the acting. But it was a shock to me when girls would email me when the social space started happening and you were getting actual DMs from your fans saying things to you, because that was a shocker too. Like, what? You could talk to me, and girls would just be like, "Oh my God, I love you. I wanted to commit suicide, but when I saw you in Belly, you changed my mind." And I'm like, "Huh? What? Really?" Yeah. So I realized that regardless of how I felt about the situation, there was something that was purpose for me to be a part of. Right. And if it was just to make our darker sisters feel like we matter, rest in peace, Ananda Lewis. Oh my God. She did that for me. Man. When I saw her skin on the screen, I was like, I got a shot.
Yeah.
I can do this. She's just gorgeous. And Naomi and just so many of us. And I didn't just look up to darker skinned women. I mean, Kamara Lee was all that in a bag of chips to me. I was like, this woman, and Tyra Banks. I just feel like we're all beautiful. We're all beautiful in our own skin, our size, whatever you are. Your beauty depends on how you rock it. If you can't rock it well, then that's the number you give yourself. But we have to be confident in who we are. And I love when people are just confident being themselves.
Facts.
Yeah, that's the scary part, that most people find validation in other people.
Yes, absolutely. Now, going back to this TARAL HICKS line collection.
Yes.
All right. I was trying to get to. So let me play Tracy Spencer co-signing that.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's your girl Tracy, and I just want to take a moment. If you don't already know, my girl TARAL HICKS has a new collab with Selfie Cosmetics. It's a new lippy line, and these colors are absolutely gorgeous. For New Year's, I wore the fine wine. I got lots of compliments. The other day I wore pink tings and beautiful lip color, and I got tons of compliments again. She also has, and these colors are absolutely gorgeous. For New Year's, I wore the fine wine. I got lots of compliments. The other day, I wore pink tings and beautiful lip color, and I got tons of compliments again. She also has one called Keisha Clear, Plain Jane, which we're gonna try tonight. We just said pink tings. There is a Sassy Brown. Ooh, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Oh my gosh. And then there is a Fuchsia Dreams, which is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not really into bold colors, but I have to say, I think my girl's lip line has sold me officially, because now I'm just always trying to, you know, figure out, like play around with these different lip colors. But tonight, I wanted to try her nude, the Plain Jane, which looks gorgeous. So I just lined my lips a little. Don't judge me, I'm not good at this. Here's the other exciting gift with these. There's a light. So if, look at that, if you're in the club, because we all fam in the club, or just somewhere dark, honey, you don't even need a light, because there's one right in here for you. Oh my gosh. Ooh, yes. Okay. Love. Absolutely love. Look at that. And you know what we might do? We might even top that off with a little bit of Fuchsia Clear, because we all like our lips to look delicioso. Delicioso. And kissable. Also, it looks good when I'm drinking out of my Billie Holiday glass. Cheers. Love this lip line. You should try it. I highly recommend it. It's gorgeous.
Without the nights that you kept me warm. When this cold world had a girl caught in the storm. And I accept when you with, when you're caught in the wrong. And respect when you flip, cause our love is strong. And when you hit the block, I watch for tenfold. And when my pops was asleep, you snuck in the back door. Baby boy, we've been down since junior high. So when life get hot as July, it's the world against you and I.
You haven't got your lip gloss from TARAL HICKS. As you can see, it's fire. Go order yours. Now go to her page and get it. Get it. You see the lights.
My new TARAL HICKS lip gloss. And I see that light in there, so smart. So you can see exactly what you're doing. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you for sending me the exclusive collection.
The TARAL HICKS collection, exclusively from Selfie Cosmetics, available now.
Hey, so, you know I'm a fine wine kind of girl, but I must admit, this Fuchsia Dreams, it is a vibe too. So I am really liking this. Okay, sis. Let me use my mirror. Yeah. Fuchsia Dreams is hitting too, sis. You did that. Hey.
Let's clap it up for that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Let me tell you something. All I can hear is the girls, because the girls laughing at me all the time. They're like, how much lip gloss you gonna put on? They always call me Whitney.
Yeah.
Because Whitney used to always just pound it
I
out.
know.
But yeah, right. But I love like you can go outside barefaced and just put on some lip gloss and you feel complete.
You good to go.
So thank you for that. And I'm gonna be ordering some more. We got to take that to St. Martin.
I don't know if you said it already. So was that your concept for the mirror and the light?
Selfie has that concept.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
how they come.
Okay.
My concept within the line is those are my colors. I handpick those colors.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, those are super cute
No,
names,
no,
too.
that-
So those are all the colors that I will wear. But I was
Mhm.
mindful because I really wanted those shades to be able to wear well on any
Anybody,
skin complexion,
right.
and I think that we have achieved that with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I can actually see, you know, being that you're connected with the film world,
Mm-hmm.
that all the stars is using your
Yeah,
your
all
line.
the makeup, all the
I
moire.
see
Yeah.
it. I already see that happening
Yeah.
if it's not already.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, if you just, you know, in this industry, you don't want to burn bridges. And I've been going since '93, and I've met a lot of people, and I've stayed in contact with most of them and worked with a lot of them. And, you know, I just always try to, you know, represent myself well wherever I go. Although, you know, I had a little run-in with GL earlier, and I was because I was leaving. But we played a really serious joke on her,
a prank on GL.
and I turned diva. But no, just kidding. But yeah, you know, for the younger artists, you just, you know, you want to represent yourself well, and you know, always just present yourself at your best, and that's what I try to do. When I leave a room, I want to be a light. I don't want to be a complicated whatever. I just want to be a light.
When I look at you, right, and people say I do have this gift, right, with a lot of, you know, she don't know my history, but
Visions.
a lot of different artists I predicted or people in the industry that I predicted with. For something, I just look at you and it's like, I see, one, you far from being finished yet, and two, I see a whole new like beginning. Like, like when I look at it, like we about to hear she got this big giant role in this Marvel movie or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like no, like I see that because it's, oh my God, it's just like she's still, nothing changed about
There's
it.
so much inside of me that I have
I see
yet
it.
to get out, and I definitely don't want to die with it, all of it in me. So I pray for long life and that God will just, you know, help me to get all the creativeness that He put inside of me out before I get up out of here.
You gotta die empty.
So before we let you go, is there another gospel album coming, or is there another R&B album coming? Like what's happening?
So for me, next will be an inspirational album.
Inspirational.
But I have R&B roots, and I really believe that God created music, and He wants us to love each other. And so for that reason, if He wants us to do this, why can't we sing about it? So I'm probably going to be putting out more R&B as well. But next is inspirational. You know, I want to uplift.
I think we need that though.
So
we definitely.
So right now there's a lot of controversy that Glorilla won.
Oh yeah.
Won best gospel or whatever.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
What is my take? That, you know, award shows operate with their own brain. Like, they don't really operate in a way that we would feel as gospel artists would say, oh, it should have been a gospel artist. But if you're not connected like that, you wouldn't know. The song was inspirational, and I guess that's who they felt should have gotten the song. Now, we all have different opinions because, yes, I know some gospel artists out here that have been grinding for a really long time and putting a lot of work in and haven't gotten the recognition. So for that, I am sad because I would have loved to see some of them get acknowledged. But hey, you know, who are we to judge, you know? God knew that was going to happen, so look.
But see, maybe with that, do you think that there's like a fine line? Because like, I mean, she's a rap artist, and we've seen and we've heard her content, But at the same time, how do you feel about that? Like, is it okay for people to be who they are, but then still love God? You know what I mean? Like, but is there a fine line between that? What do you think?
I think that they should probably categorize it a little better, and maybe not call it a gospel award, maybe call it an inspirational award, and then have a gospel,
because there's a big difference.
Section.
Let me tell you who checked me on that, because I notice how she switched the word. When I said gospel, she said inspirational, right?
Yeah, there's a difference.
You know who else checked me on that?
Who?
My friend Yolanda Adams.
Okay.
Yeah. So me and Yolanda, we chop it up.
Okay.
You know?
I love her, by the way.
And yeah, once I met her, I did a project, and we was out in D.C. together, and I wrote a song, co-wrote it with our girls, Natalie, Pinup Girls, and they sung it in D.C. At the Capitol for Michelle Obama and Cicely Tyson when she's alive and everything like that. So I wrote a tribute song. Her and Dorinda Clark sung it together. So when I met her, I was like, oh, listen, you should let me write you a gospel song. She said, don't write me a gospel song. Write me an inspirational song. And she said, we're not calling it gospel no more. It's inspiration. So I respect that you said that. So I'm like, okay. So now she checked me nicely, but Yolanda, like, she had checked me like,
yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, because I think that there's a huge difference.
It's a difference.
But
for sure.
When you say gospel, you know that it's deeply embedded.
But I also
It's
think
in the word, yeah.
we have to get into the table. Like, we have to get into these spaces and to the table to bring, because like the who's in the room. That's who's in the room making these choices,
Right.
and making these decisions,
Right.
And we have to find a way to get into the room.
next week's topic. I know there's a comedy show going down, too.
Oh, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What's
it's
happening
called
with that?
Class Dismissed on June 26th. Shout out to all the educators. Shout out to all the people in the school system, whether you're custodial, whether you're a cafeteria worker, bus driver. Class Dismissed is for you. Y'all, I'm tired. We tired. Look, school, I remember back in the day, we used to get out of school like now. Why are we going to school to July 42nd? Because, and it just seems long and drawn out. That's when we get out of school. But we're putting this together. It's at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick. And we've sold it out every year, and we do not want this year to be any different. We have an amazing lineup. Joanne Ash, she's an educator. Chris Grant, he's an educator out of New York.
You can look at the flyer.
I know. I put it together. I forgot. Charles Walden out of Philly, who is hilarious. Charles is special because he is disabled, but he is absolutely hilarious. He is an epitome of someone who does not let his disability define who he is. One of the funniest comics ever. And then we have headlining Freddie Ricks out of New York, who is he may not be an official king of comedy, New York king of comedy, but he is hilarious. His voiceovers, his impressions are absolutely amazing. And of course, DJ Jess is on the ones and twos, and I will be hosting. So great.
No doubt. Listen, get your tickets right now. Where can they go get tickets?
www.stressfactory.com. Yes.
Make sure y'all go support
I'm
that.
so proud of you, Gio.
Listen.
Me too. You're doing it, girl.
Listen, she's doing the thing. She's doing the thing.
Yes.
I just want to thank TARAL,
Yes.
Hicks, Dawson for coming out and just sharing a little bit of herself with us on BKS on Radio, the Storm Warning Show. I learned a lot tonight. You cleared up some things too, and I am gonna go watch Belly again and be like,
He gonna be on the TV like this. Oh, that ain't her.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, you messed up everybody's fantasy. Good for y'all.
Sorry, guys.
Heathens.
I'm so sorry. Y'all lived with it for a long
time, right? That part.
Listen, I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
On your journey that's continuing. I wish you the best with your entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Thank you.
I like that. Do that one.
Entrepreneurial shit.
Yeah. Let's look that up.
Entrepreneurial.
I wish you the best with that.
Thank you.
I know whatever you know. Of course, whatever God has planned for you is going to happen. But at the same time, I know we're going to see you in a role that you just
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
shining and blossoming. I know it's coming.
Yeah. It's coming.
I see that's coming. Yeah. And whatever music you do, I'm definitely going to be supporting it because that's where I started, just adoring this young lady and everything with her music and everything. So again, I thank you for coming to BKS finally.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys for having me.
Oh, please.
I had a lot of fun just being myself, chopping it up with you guys and GL. Thank you for sitting in with us.
Yes. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Finally, yes.
Yes. So
and go and support people the same way y'all support Nike and support Timberland and support no jabs, but we need to start learning how to support Black businesses, especially by Black women and Black men and just us. Like, right? Didn't we start with FUBU? For us, by us.
Right, we did.
And we have to continue that. So please go out and support Selfie Cosmetics and TARAL and everything that she's doing.
Thank
and
you
don't
so
be fake,
much.
y'all.
Final words.
Final words. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support over the years. Thank you for keeping me alive in this industry, in this space that is very often hard to stay relevant. So you guys keep me relevant. Every time I think Keisha's dead, y'all bring her back to life. But thank you. I love you guys, and please continue to support me.
Yes,
yes.
Terrell Hicks is definitely a household name. Okay,
thank you.
Ain't going nowhere.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. We also want to thank the legend herself, Miss Shirley Jones,
We
of
love you,
the Jones
Auntie.
Girls.
Yes,
we love
cannot
you.
wait.
We will see you on the 4th of July. It's going down in the city of Plainfield. Make sure you guys come out and just
it's
have
free.
It's free.
Yeah. Bring your lawn chairs.
Yeah,
And your coolers.
and you're gonna have a good time. Trust me. Every year we do. GL, she will be co-hosting along with Akisa and Jonesy. Yes. So come on out and have a good time. And again,
It was a mess last year.
Oh, what?
We were just bugging out all day.
Oh, we had a good time.
We had a good time.
We had a
It
good
was a
time.
long day, but it was fun.
Yes. So again, come on out. This right here, City of Plainfield presents 4th of July America in Colors Celebration. All right, so it's going down 4 p.m. Cedarbrook Park in Plainfield, New Jersey, hosted by recording artists from 94.7 The Block, Pix 11, Miss Jones, our girl Miss Jones. All right, headlining is the legend. She got a headline. That's the legend. Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls doing all her joints. And listen, for you Caribbean and reggae cats, and if you're from New York, you already know about Mr. Bobby Condas, Massive B. All right, he's coming out to do what he does with his set, rocking out, doing his set and everything for the city of Plainfield. House music sensation Kamora Lovelace will be on the set doing When Will Our Love Begin?
Okay, vibrato.
Don't you laugh at my voice. Don't you laugh.
have a little voice.
All right.
It stayed on camera.
Also, listen, getting down with the salsa and all of that. The Swing Combo Band going to be rocking out. Dope R&B band, the Impact Band, going to be doing what they do. And also from the, you seen them on the Tamron Hall show, the 40 Plus Double Dutch Club will be rocking out doing their thing. All right. And we're going to line dance with the queen of line dance, Crystal Ballum. And on the ones and twos throughout the day is your boy, DJ Storm Norm, and friends going to be setting the tone. All right, get in that park to sing along with them joints. All right, so we're going to have a good time. We're going to have some fun. Make sure y'all come out July 4th, like GL said, and Kiss said it's free.
Yes.
Come on out. Again, thank you. God bless.
Thank
we
you
out
guys so much. Yes.
And again, remember, this show is never about us.
It is always about you.
Because you are the next best kept secret. We'll see y'all next week,
We love y'all.
y'all.
Thank you so
Love
much for
y'all. Peace
tuning
and
in.
blessings.
God bless. Even with my glasses, I can't see.
That was awesome.
Even with my glasses, I can't see.
Gotta take a picture.
Okay.
I got one in the
Goodness.
pack.
Oh, she's not going back.